What up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, just another day in paradise. KFL tonight. What's up, everybody? What's going on, man? What a great week, man. Fun week of games. We're going to recap it all. What's up, everybody, man? Like a lot of people commenting already, man. Justin Gallo, Gary Cooper, man, David Miller, Sherman Bishop, Rich Biggie, John Fox, Justin, Dave, all those guys, man. What's up, man? Do me a favor, share this feed, man. Let's get some people on here tonight and talk about these great games, man, because the story was the games, man. No doubt. Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to run through them. We had a lot of fantastic games. It was the toughest week to vote on MVP that we've had. I think we had a monster shortlist. We had a wide array of votes through that. Almost every week we've had either singular blowout on the vote, 1-2 split decision. This week, not the case. We were all over the place.
All over the place for MVP. MVP was, was, there was a lot of debate on MVP.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have that, right? I'd rather have.
That's what we want.
Exactly. That's what we want. When everybody's let everybody, say their piece, take their votes, and we cast them as they may. So at the end of the day, it
just gets harder too because so many of these games had massive implications.
Yeah, exactly. And guys showed out, man. You guys showed out pretty well, and it was fun, man. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. What's going on, everybody? Elric, Mike Fink, what's up? Dave Hart, again, everybody, and Mr. Lauren Fury. Good to have everybody there, man. Scott says I'm on the wrong side. Sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to do that just to make sure we're in.
God, does that really bother people?
It does, man. So anyway, we've got some special guests lined up, man, and we're gonna get started, man. Shall we? I think we.
Dude, let's hop into it, man. The games are what matters, not anything you or I have to talk about or say. So let's get to it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get to it right now, man. Maniacs at Connecticut. Congratulations, Maniacs. We had spoke to John and Judy Richardson. That was in the morning broadcast. Yeah. We did a great interview with them, and we're also going to upload that over to Motion Sports YouTube. You got to check it out. Fun couple, awesome couple, man. Really enjoyed John and Judy. The Maniacs, man, they get the win on the road against Connecticut, man. That and this is an eye opener for me, man, because Maniacs not having the best of years. They were 1-3. They take the dub, man, out of conference or out of the division game. But man, what a good win! What a good win for these guys.
Fantastic win. That division is a mess.
Oh, we're gonna get it on to all that. Yeah,
I mean, oh my gosh, that division is a mess. Just everybody is beating each other up. But man, for Maine, super big win, and we talk about part of fishing this league is people are going to start knowing who you are when you have a big breakout performance. If you don't know Brady
Ouellette, you better get to know this guy.
Yeah.
This guy absolutely did work. I mean, carried his team. I mean, I think what I was looking at, I think 7 of his fish were counting on the Maniacs.
I think 6. Yeah, I think 6 of them were.
But
I think he added the big fish. I think he had like the top 4, top 5 for his team. I mean,
incredible performance, man, on the road at Lake Lilanona. This lake really struggled against I think it was New York is when New York went to Connecticut, and this is where New York put up like the 29 inches or whatever it was.
Right.
It didn't show well the first week, but man, you got Maine coming in there, put it 169 inches. They showed New York how to do it. But Connecticut didn't even put up a limit, man. So you got to defend home. That's the name of the game in this area, and a big win for Maniacs. It opened my eyes, man. Great job, man.
Yeah, Greg. I mean, me and you've been talking a little bit about this off air. Man, we are seeing some teams struggling at home. What do you think's going on there, man? You think it's trying to do too much? You're trying to have the perfect day. You're trying to what's happening here?
I don't know what's happening here. Somebody else is messing something up. They're running some stats or something or other. I don't know what's going on here. Here we go.
Yeah, get that out of there. Hey, Keith, what's up, man?
Well, we got our man Keith with us, man. What's going on, Mr. Lambert?
What's going on, gentlemen?
How you doing, bud?
Thanks for joining us, man. Welcome.
Good. Had a few free moments in the middle.
Oh, there he goes. At least he didn't
Crushing
end
it, dude. Well done.
It's the broadcast.
But just kind of what we were talking about off air, Greg. Do you think these home teams are just trying to have the perfect game plan, or they're fishing too much history, or they're just not getting back to basics? Like,
you know what I is, man. I think it is, and this is the honest God's truth, man. I was actually discussing this. I think the talent this year has really shown itself much better because I think as and it's going to show itself again in next year as this league continues to grow. Teams are starting to put together teams that can travel, and know these bodies of water. I mean, these are close proximities. Like we said, Northeast can travel, right?
sure.
They've seen these bodies of water, but I think it's a combination of things. I think it's teams that can fish the likeness of the bodies of water, not so much the bodies of waters themselves, but they've seen this type of bodies of water, and it's all in kind of Northeast, area. And also, I think the competition has exponentially gotten better, and I think teams are starting to put together their squads that can travel. And I think that's exactly what it is, man. If you look at some of these like RPIs that Lance is doing, he's showing, I think 54% of the time, the home teams win. That is a great parity of a league. When the away team can have just as much of a chance to win as the home team, but I think it has to do with obviously the competition. What do you think, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, definitely level of competition. We were talking about that last night with a couple of the interviews that I did with some of the guys, Cayman Rasmussen and those guys from the Natural State Eagles. The level of competition is what is creating all the parity. I mean, there are sticks every single team on this league, and it's the type of anglers that can go out and find fish on any body of water that they're fishing on.
Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite side from y'all. I'm not gonna chalk it up to talent yet. Obviously, I do
think there we go.
Leo's upset about it. Sorry, y'all. I think there is I think we're just seeing like the Kraken this weekend. Some of the other home teams, I feel like guys are trying to be too smart. Greg, we definitely poke fun at people about, why don't you pick up the Cinco, or you're probably not going to let you do that. I think we've just seen some of that, man. We had Mike Fink on during the broadcast fishing a home game, and he's going down the bank throwing a Cinco in a home game.
Man.
He wasn't doing anything crazy at Kentucky Lake. He was just going down the bank throwing a Cinco, man.
Yeah,
putting fish on the board. I don't think we're seeing enough of that, man. You gotta fill a limit. Yeah,
I mean, speaking of which, here's another one, man. I mean, we have these interstate rivals here, Maulers and Attack. Now, this was a home game for the Attack, but the Maulers know this body of water so well, right? I'll be honest with you, this was a kind of a surprise. Rich Biggie came in out of state, didn't really know the body of water was. I thought this was a risky move when Mike Elrick put Rich Biggie in this lineup. I'm like, oh my gosh! I didn't think that was. I don't know if that was going to be a winning move or not. I just thought that was just kind of like maybe he's trying to get his best anglers on the water, maybe kind of have a fresh set of eyes on this river, because again they've fished this river over and over and over again. And buddy, it paid off big. This is a huge win, man. Bay State Attack does beat the Maulers by about 165 to 162 and a half. Big win, man. Congratulations to Bay State. I mean, Maulers put up a good fight, man. I'm not gonna.
It was a great game. It was an awesome game.
Awesome game, man. I mean, the two kickers wound up winning it. A 20 and a 19 wound up winning this game.
Well, we talked about that match Thursday, Greg, and I told you, that combination of Mike Elrick, Rich Biggie, and Chris Gomes was going to be huge, and I picked Bay State to win that match. Just the level of communication those guys seem to be able to put out. I mean, I know it hasn't been a great start to the season, but the level of communication those guys are able to, talk about things in the water, break it down. I mean, it paid off. I felt like that was their best chance to win that match, was at least those three.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, Todd. Welcome to the show, brother. But I mean, what a great matchup between the two interstate rivals, man. It has big implications because now you have head-to-heads all kind of messing things up, man, and we're going to get into the standings later, but man, that game was huge for Bay State. Keith, you had an opportunity to talk to Rich. We're going to go ahead and play a little bit of the interview here and to get Rich Biggie's thought on this game.
Hey guys, what's going on? Keith Lambert here, and I am with the Biggie himself, Rich Biggie of the Bay State Attack. Rich, y'all coming off a big home win against the defending 2021 KFL Cup champions, the Mass Maulers. You got a big road match coming up on August the 13th against a team that just come off a big upset win themselves in the Maniacs. So let's talk about this this win, and technically, like you said, both Mass teams. Talk about this win at home and defending what would be home turf or a home match against the Massachusetts Maulers.
So actually, I came into the season as a backup. So I just, busy with work and everything. And last minute, I think 5 days before, I talked to Mike and said, hey, if there's a team spot available, I can come on the roster. I can get there. And he goes, yeah, we can get you in there. 3.5 hour ride up there. I've never seen the place, never been. But, like you said, you talk about a home match, but it's very evenly based with these teams. And you got the Mass Maulers, top level anglers. So we get there. The biggest thing with this event was it was a team effort, because without the guys telling me what this river was like, what am I expecting, where am I going, I don't think it was possible. The communication the week leading up to this was the biggest team aspect that I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with. And, you could say I did well, I did this, the MVP, all around. If it wasn't for the team, we wouldn't be where we are right now, hands down.
Well, and that's the fun part of the KFL. KFL has completely changed the way we look at kayak angling. We go out and fish these tournaments, your local club tournaments, your trail stops. You've got the KBBT brackets, and you've got KBF and Hobie, and several different bass and several different tournament formats, and they're all individualized. And like you just said, you just put into words, the team aspect. Tell me what you think about the team aspect as compared to, the individual competition.
It's a whole different dynamic. I mean, mark my words, you can quote it. Talk to Mike Elric. When he asked me to join, I said, if this is not going to be a team effort and guys and anglers will not talk and they're going to play as individuals, I don't want to be a part of it. I joined for the team. There is no benefit for an angler doing a solo mission and putting up 200 inches, 180. Yes, if you get the win, great, but that's not going to happen every time. You know? And the perfect example, week 2 or 1, when I was at Champlain, I think I put up 178 inches. And, the team had a rough time. It doesn't get us to win. We lost by 5 or 6 inches. It's a team collective effort.
Right. It's good stuff, man. I like what he has to say. The team collective effort, man. Awesome.
I appreciate the point Keith was making, but Keith, there's team fishing in all of it. So.
That's right.
There is. Honestly, there is a lot of team fishing, BK. Yeah. We're just not supposed to talk about that kind of team fishing, right?
It's all good. I'm just having a little fun there. But, I mean, the point's taken. And, I like what Rich had to say, that, his team has kind of set him up for success. But, I mean, like we said, man, you still got to go out there and catch him. I mean, I would have loved to know what he was doing, and hopefully I can watch the rest of that interview up on YouTube and figure out how he was breaking that down, man, because he was seeing it different than everybody else was.
No doubt. Hey, Keith Livinghouse says, don't cancel the Lake George event. Man, we got to have a minimum, man, to make it worthwhile. So, hey, get people to sign up. I'll look at that tomorrow, man, but we'll go on that later. But, yeah, man, I mean, I thought Rich had a great thing. We're going to talk again. That full interview will be on Motion Sports. You can check it out. But Rich had a big day for Bay State. And again, we talked about, like, team set wins or franchise set wins that get them in the momentum and going. Man, this is a big win for them. They beat the champions, man, and huge win for Bay State. But moving on, man.
Real quick before we move on, man.
Yeah.
Where do we now think about the Maulers, or where does this leave the Maulers?
It's make or break next week.
They got to put their best 4 out there. I mean, I've seen one lineup where they had their best 4 this season.
That's true, man. That's true. I mean, you're exactly right. They have to put their best 4 out there, right?
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Bay State in asking that question, guys. Bay State did what they had to do, and it wasn't like the Maulers just rolled over. I mean, they had a great game. Kickers are the difference, but I feel like, kind of what Keith is saying. I mean, what Todd says definitely true. It's make or break next week, but I want to see Brundle. I need to see.
Look at this. Look at this traffic jam. This is Talladega turn 2, going for the checkered flag here. This is a car wreck. Okay, Granite State 5-0, Bay State 2-3, Maulers 2-3, Rebels 2-3, Maniacs 2-3. They've all beaten each other up, right? I mean, try to figure out who's ahead and to who and all that stuff. It'll all shake out at the end of the year. You know, division records are tied. They have all beaten each other up. You have the point differential here. It's all going to shake each other out, man. I promise you at the end of the year. That's a car wreck right there. And the Maulers are right in the middle of it, right? And so, I mean, they have an opportunity to still do some damage in this division, man. But they're going to have to win out, man. I mean, they have to.
Any one of those teams can make it, guys. I mean, even with Granite State being 5-0, you know, they could stumble a couple of times in the next few weeks, and any one of those teams at 2-3 that went out, you know, a big upset somewhere, it's not undoable that one of those 4 teams makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're not done, but like Todd said, next week, every week from here on out, crucial for all those teams. So
hey, don't count out Maine, guys. I'm telling you. I know Maine looks like they're on the bottom of this, but they're really not, right? So I mean, Maine has wins over Bay State, right? They have wins over the Rebels, and they have a win over the Maulers. So I mean, again, this is all a car wreck. I mean, you know, so I mean, they don't have. I'm sorry, they did not beat Bay State. They have wins over the Maulers and Rebels, but it's an
you gotta look at that division record. Bay State controls their own destiny to you know, for a playoff run here. With that 2-2 divisional record, I mean, they still got hang on, does that mean they still got 4 division games, or what? How's that division?
Oh, I'm sorry. They did not beat the Rebels. My apologies, guys. My apologies. But anyway,
Greg let you know.
Yeah,
Greg,
what's up? What's up, Todd?
How many division games is everybody in that division going to have versus each other this year?
I'll have to
they
look
got
back.
so many teams in there.
Yeah, I'll have to look back, man, at the schedule.
Because if the schedule's shaking itself out, it looks like Bay State could benefit from maybe less divisional games. Is that what's possible there?
Yep.
Them and Granite State.
I mean, look at Penn being honest here, man. They didn't execute as a team like we should have, in my opinion. I mean, that's great. That's great honesty, man. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and we wondered that because Greg. I mean, I told you because I was judging fish while we were hopping from broadcast to broadcast. I said, man, it looks like Ken kind of has something figured out. I wonder if the rest of the team will kind of pick up on what he's doing, or because he was catching some better quality fish. He really was
for sure. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it was very interesting, man, to see. But it's a good win. Again, I mean, look, you can't say the Maulers just crapped the bed. They didn't. They just got out kicked, right? I mean, that's what it was. So, I mean, my hat's off to both of them.
I picked that one.
Yeah,
don't forget.
Yeah. All right, man. Granite State Sticks, man. They beat the Rebels at home at Winnipesaukee. Winnipesaukee continues to show out, man. And man, it was a party. I'll be honest with you. If you look at the top, I think 5 in the standings,
7,
or I'm sorry, top 7 in the standings individually. Look at this: Jake Angelis, Steve O'Brien, and Matt Lee.
Yeah,
3 of the 4 anglers were in the top 7. That means they were just all on fish, right? That's just a solid team effort, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at how that lake showed out too, though, because you had Justin Gallo right there. You had 4 out of the top 8 anglers, I think, in the country scoring on that lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Granite State doing what Granite State does. We'll now see what they're made of. They've had a lot of home games.
5-0 is ridiculous.
It is.
If you see, I mean, we showed you the car wreck. We showed you what this division can do to itself.
Yeah.
But for Granite State Sticks to be 5-0 through all that and kind of just, you know, do their own thing, keep their head down, and win 5 straight. I mean, in this division is just super impressive, man.
They've had 4 home games though, right?
I'm sorry?
They've had 4 home games, correct?
I believe so. Okay. No, two road games. I think it's 2 and 2.
Is it 3-2?
3 and 2. Yeah, 3 and 2. So, okay. Anyway, these guys are just on a roll, man. I mean, it's just incredible. Let's talk to Jake Angelis, man. Keith had an opportunity to speak to Jake Angelis. This guy is just Mr. Consistency.
What's going on, guys? Keith Lambert here with the KFL Week 6 post game and / Week 7 preview with Jake Angelus. We've got a big match coming up this week with the Granite State Sticks. They're coming off a big win with the Rhode Island Rebels, and you guys are now looking forward to the Massachusetts Maulers match. Now, Jake, let's talk a little bit about the match this last weekend. In division rival. You guys are 4-0 going in, looking to make it 5-0. You had another big day, buddy. Does Jake miss?
I will eventually, but as of right now, we're on a good streak and we want to keep it going. It was a great match, and my bite kind of changed. I had to adapt throughout the match, and then I figured out what they wanted, and I just ran with that the rest of the day. The afternoon bite was decent. Wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. The fish were super picky. We had a storm blow through that morning. Air temp dropped pretty heavy. So those fish were kind of in a mood, but we found them, rotated through some new spots, and we got on them. So it was a good event. Yeah.
Well, like I say, this past weekend you had you and the Granite State Sticks. I say you, but your team 4-0. You guys were tied record wise with the Motor City Ambassadors. They come off a tough loss to the Indianapolis Knights. You guys win. That puts you guys at 5-0 and in first place in the conference, obviously leading your division. What does that 5-0 mark mean with just 3 matches left in the season?
We're ready to go for our next games. I mean, it's huge that we're 5-0, but the work's not done. We're ready to put the work in for the next 3 events, and these next 3 events aren't going to be easy. We got Maine, the Maulers, so they're going to be hard games coming up. And
all right, man. Look, here's the deal. Their next game is at Massachusetts, right? Big game. That's in 2 weeks. Their next game is there. That is going to be big, guys. I mean, it's 5-0 now. This is the game that I'm looking forward to seeing. Can those young guns go into Massachusetts and take down the Maulers at home, man? That one is going to be amazing to see.
Keith, quit spoiling the future games in your interviews. Come on, man. But man, I don't know. Like this is we couldn't really ask for better because Granite State should be able to fish freely. They have a comfortable lead. It's on the road, but the Mauler's back is against the wall, just like Todd said. Man, like this is do or die time. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, I will tell you, man. These kids are already putting in the work over in Massachusetts right now, man. They're working. I mean, they want this bad, already. They're wanting this bad. And I mean, Todd, 5-0, man. Talk about how impressive that start is for these guys, man.
Very impressive. It's something that they kind of took the league by storm. I mean, Lauren called it at the beginning of the year. It's her team, she's shouting that out in the chat. But to get to know these guys and watch them fish and understand how dangerous they are. I mean, I have a guy. My team is different than this team, right? So my team coming into the league, everybody knew who every player on my team was, and everybody's like, "Man, we heard these guys are good, and we heard they got them young sticks." My guys on my team recognize how dangerous they are, and we don't want to face them on Winnipesaukee. And I'm being dead honest, and that's a compliment to them. I mean, I've got guys that say, "Guys, we got to do everything we can to try to stay away from them until we have to go there." And I mean, it's a testament to how awesome they are. They show week in, week out. They show no weaknesses, and they're able to put their best 4 on the water every week. And their best 4 is as dangerous as any best 4 out there so far this year.
So let me ask you this: if they do slide to the Maulers, does that start a possible ending of the season at 5-3? Could they drop the next 3?
They need to.
I think that Maine has a awesome home advantage on China if that's where they go. Mm-hmm. So I could see 2 losses there. You go to 6-2 and you're opening up a whole world of hurt because I'm not sure that Motor City loses again. And then all of a sudden you take a team that's bloody in the water right now in Motor City, even though they've showed just a little kink in their armor. It wasn't much, but Indianapolis exposed it a little bit. I'm not sure if Motor City loses. And if you don't want to go through Motor City when so far everything you've done this year right now, the North goes through Lake Winnipesaukee and the Granite State Sticks. You've got to keep that. This league is too deadly with the quality of anglers to let that slip through your hands. You cannot afford to let that happen.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. I mean, it's pretty awesome to see, man. I think Granite State, if they go to Massachusetts, it's going to be a tall tale of what happens at the end of the season. They cannot drop that game. They cannot lose that momentum. If they beat the Maulers, I think they go undefeated. I do. But, Maine has something to say about that. But I think it's going to be very difficult for them to go to Massachusetts and Maine back to back and win those games. If they do, my hat's off to them, man.
I think like to go off.
And
what
may I
Todd's,
say one other? May I say one? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to back up what Todd's saying, I'm really not that worried about Granite State if they're on a smallmouth predominant fishery. They've shown week in, week out they can target brownfish very well. And I don't think there's a better home advantage in the north than Winnipesaukee, just like for Coosa in the south. Coosa's about to go on the road a bunch.
Yes.
If Coosa maintains home advantage, they get it throughout, you're not beating them on Neely Henry.
Correct.
And you're not beating, in my opinion, Granite State on Winnipesaukee. If either one of those teams has a rough end of their season and they choke away home field advantage, that might lose them playoffs at some point.
Guys, this kind of brings in what Lance Coley had put together. I want to show this real quick. This is the RPI index. We were just talking about this, right? We're talking about the top teams, Todd. Motor City, Coosa, Granite State, Washington, Arkansas Hogs, top 5, right? This is like, we were talking about the top teams and how they're ranked, and this is the power rankings for these teams, right? Motor City's number 1. Even with the loss this week, Motor City is number 1. Coosa's number 2. Granite State's number 3, 5-0. Washington Warhawks 4-1, and Arkansas Hogs 4-1. This is a tall tale how strong these teams are, right? And I asked Lance to come in because everybody's like, well, what does this mean? What does all this mean? Well, I've got the creator of this beautiful thing, Lance Coley. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, pretty good. How are you?
Dude, thanks for coming on, man. Short notice. Lance, this RPI index comes out, man, and, those who don't understand it, how it works, how'd you put this together? How does this, basically rank, these teams, and, what's all involved that you did here, man? It's so cool and impressive, man.
So it's pretty much modeled after what the NCAA does. It's the ratings percentage index. They take your home record is 25%, your opponent's record is half 50%, and your opponent's record is 25%. So it takes in strength of schedule, and then the NCAA weighs their home games. I think they use a flat 0.4, so a home game is worth 0.6 of a win. A road game is worth 1.4.
Right.
So I actually used the real time home field advantage for the league, which right now is like 1.08. So it's pretty even. It's just a little bit over 500.
Right. Like 54%, I think is what we said, right?
Yeah, it's so 500 would be 50-50, a coin toss. We're at like 580 something. So just,
wow.
Just 0.08 over a coin toss. So I just take that and add it to 1. So it's 1.08 is a road win. 0.92 is a home win.
Gotcha.
And then,
like you said, though, man, like in your comments when you wrote, like the cream does rise to the top. It took 6 weeks for all this kind of shakeout, but I think the top 5, I mean, in power rankings as well as RPI, I think it's going to be very similar,
Yeah, well, anything like this, the more data you have, the more accurate it's going to get. So as we go through the season, I think it's going to shake out like it should, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So explain to me, though, I mean, Motor City does take the loss, and then Coosa and Granite State are undefeated. How does Motor City stay on top when you have 2 5-0 teams below them?
It's going to be on strength of schedule more. I don't have all the data in front of me right now. I'm actually I'm on the beach with my family, so
Okay.
so if you have a weak schedule, then you better win everything. Honestly, I think I'm on the Kingfishers. I think our schedule's a little on the weak side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's showing up with the Ambassadors staying in first, even with the loss. So it's when the calculation is taking in home field advantage, and it's also taking in spread. That's one thing that the standard NCAA RPI doesn't do is I did a kind of a something similar to RPI based off the spread, and then kind of work that in, average the two scores. So if you have a weak schedule, you better win every game, and you better beat them by a lot. And if you look at our score, the Kingfisher score, I got the actual win-loss percentage and the margin of victory percentage. You can kind of see what's going into that on that table. And our for the margin of victory sticks way out there, and it's actually carrying our win-loss, which is undefeated, but the guys we play brings that score down for us. So we're like, I'd have to look at, we're probably like fourth or fifth on RPI with strength of schedule. So
would the same be happening for the Southern Slayers there then?
I think so. Like I said, I don't have the data in front of me, but is that
to look? Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, if you're looking at Granite State,
it's just a measure. It's just a measure of how, you know, basically your team is and the strength of schedule that they play, right? I mean, if they're playing a bunch of Johnnies, you know, all season long, they're going to be further down that RPI. If they're playing heavyweights, and even if they're winning or losing, their strength of schedule in their wins has more of a weight to that win than, let's say, you're playing somebody who's lower down the RPI, right?
Yeah. I think the important thing to remember here is their strength of schedule is dictated by the other team's record, not who they have on paper. Correct. So Granite State has beaten a bunch of good teams, but all those good teams they've beaten are all 2-3.
That's right.
So exactly. that's where you're, and like Lance's team, Coosa, they've beaten Alabama twice, who is really struggling, stuff like that. So,
well, it's like Lance said. I mean, this is what NCAA uses to seed their brackets, and we went and kind of showed, you know, basically how the teams rank in strength of scheduling and, you know, the quality of wins and so on and so forth. So it's really cool. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Theoretically,
Mike, it's on the KFL page.
Mike, you can see it on KFL's page. You can dive into it, all that stuff. But I mean, like, you know, Warhawks at 4, their only loss is to Motor City.
Right. Yep.
So that's why you see stuff like that. You know, I mean, I think if the Warhawks were undefeated because of the strength of their schedule, I think they would actually be one.
I think you're.
Yep. I think it's well done, man. There's a lot of work that goes into this, man, and I look forward to it every time it comes out, man. So, Lance, I want to thank you for coming on here tonight, man, kind of explaining it out, because a lot of people see this, they're like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? You know, as a sports junkie, man, you know, again, loving NCAA basketball, this brings a little different element into what we do, and it basically shows how you compare to, you know, your peers all across the league, man. So I think it's great, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I love the work that goes into it, dude. Very cool.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of work.
Very cool.
Lance, thanks for coming on tonight, man, explaining it. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All right. That's Lance Coley, man. Awesome. Appreciate him coming on tonight and explaining that out. But anyway, hopefully it gives you a little bit of an idea and insight. All right, man. Let's go over to actually, I want to skip the Pennsylvania Bronzebacks game real quick. And I want to talk about this game here. Indianapolis Knights versus Motor City Ambassadors. Get out of here with this game. Are you serious? This game was absolutely incredible. Came down again to a buzzer beater, and I was broadcasting this game, and I had an opportunity to basically spend the entire broadcast with these guys. It was so fun through and through. But we've got Mr. Sam Jones. Sam, Indianapolis Knights wins 172.25 to 170 over Motor City Ambassadors, and you guys put on a show again against these guys. Congratulations. Your team has to be absolutely excited about that
Look
win.
at
Man.
that smile, though, Sam.
Oh yeah.
We
we
hard, man.
That smile, though, right?
Right. Yeah. So we just got off a team call, and we're obviously pumped up. We're excited to have an opportunity to get back in the game. Right. It was looking pretty rough after taking a loss to Motor City. We needed a lot of things to happen in the North and to win the game, and it seemed like they all happened. Right now the playoff picture shows 3 Northwest teams in the playoffs. That's crazy.
That's right.
That is absolutely crazy. Think about that. 3 teams from one conference in the playoffs right now. That shows the strength of this conference and this division, I mean. So we're stoked. I think this is the second time we've ended Motor City's winless or undefeated streak.
That's right. You
So
did last year as well.
Yep. So playoffs might go through Detroit, but the Detroit train ends in Indy, something like that. I don't know. But, we love playing against Detroit. They're great guys. They're great anglers. We match up really well. I think if we play 100 times, it's 50-50 record
agreed.
with 2 inches separating us every time. It's a phenomenal rivalry. We went to dinner afterwards. We had a great time. We've already started planning a preseason match next week next year. And can't wait. 2 times a year to play against them isn't enough because it just gets your heart pumping and racing, and it's just a good show.
So talk about the game, man. We had these guys. We had Eric Polens at the very last 15 minutes of the game. I was broadcasting. Go back and watch it. Eric Polens puts up an 18. Puts the score to 3/4 of an inch right behind you guys, right? Mike Elsey immediately catches a 17-7-5, and he shouts, "Game over, game over." And I'm like, "Oh, not so fast, bro." Polens just threw up an 18. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "They're coming, man." And then Jeremy Baker throws up a 16-7-5, gets even closer. Dave Kerr had a great game. I mean, these guys didn't stop fighting, man. It was just another epic game between you guys. But I will say this, looking back at the numbers, the way Dave Kerr, Eric Polens, and Jeremy Baker put those fish up, I think if Mike Elsey did not catch that last fish, you guys lose by 1/4 of an inch.
Look, I mean, you asked me, I think it was like in the first hour on the first broadcast, how I was feeling about things. I was like, look, you don't get excited and you don't get too nervous about anything at this point because there's a lot of game left. And we knew going into that match, I think I told you a week before that match, it's going to be tight. Like, it's going to come down to a matter of just a couple inches, if that. We've said it 100 times. We didn't pick our home lake because it was some big strategic advantage. We picked it because it has a lot of fish and we knew it put on a good show.
And it did.
And it does. It does every time. I mean, you go back and you look at it. We win. We beat Motor City last year only because they didn't find their 10th fish on a really tough day, right? They found their 10th fish, they would have won. Ambassadors, we were blowing them out most of the day, and they come back and almost beat us this year. You know what I'm saying? It's just a great place to have this style, this format. But yeah, I mean, our goal going into the game was just find a way to win, and our guys did that, and I'm so proud of them. Mike got the redemption he needed and deserved.
Yes, he did.
And it was just such a great team win. We saw Adam come in and do what he needed to do. Mike and Adam start working together. I think Adam had 4, Mike had 3, I had 3 or 2. I don't remember how it worked, but it was just a great team
win.
And
team win.
Detroit, same thing. Just phenomenal team effort. Eric, what a stick. I mean, you don't see many fish over 18 come out of Manitow. And he did it twice in one game. Freaking stick.
No doubt. Todd, you had something to say?
Oh, I was just asking if they run their team dinner bill up over $430 like they did for us.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we all don't have a team credit card that we could just, run up. So
Yeah. Mike, you go to Oklahoma next, man. what you guys feeling about this? It's a out of division game, but it's nonetheless very important. You're going to Oklahoma for the first time, unknown territory for you guys, man. How you guys feeling about it?
So a couple of us have been to Oklahoma once or twice, but yeah, like you said, this is a lake we've never even heard of prior to the schedule drop. So
What lake's that?
we're going to Spavinaw, and we like the lake. It's small, it's grassy, which is similar to Manitow and some of the other lakes that we have around here. So it doesn't seem as foreign as it could potentially. But at the same time, it's a small fishery. There's probably going to be a few key areas, and it's going to be a battle. I mean, they've got some great sticks out there, so we're excited for the challenge as always. But we're not taking anything for granted. We're going to go out there with as many guys as we can possibly take with us, and we're going to put in the work to try and get that win.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're looking forward to seeing it, man. It's going to be a challenge, there's no doubt. You guys can't afford to drop any of them. I don't care if it's in division or out of division. You got to win, right? And I'll tell you what, another guy you got to give a shout out, man. Had a heck of a game was Adam Murray, man. Put on an absolute show. They called him Data through the live, man, and Data showed up, man. So congratulations on Data. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, this was the same thing last year. He won week 5. MVP, doing almost the exact same thing, just coming up and showing up big in a home game where we had to get a win, and just showing up in those big moments. These guys are clutch, and I'm so grateful to have them on this team, man.
Yeah, man. Well, buddy, congratulations! Awesome game. Congratulations on that ending their streak, and we're gonna see how this thing shakes out, because the guy to your right, on the screen, it has something to say about it, man. Head to head in this division, it's gonna be a battle.
Yeah, they're gonna bring it. Absolutely, we're gonna bring it too. I think Todd's a little overconfident, but it is what it is.
But if it comes off that way, that's fake.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Hey, and buddy,
nervous.
and don't worry, when you guys come up to Indy, come up to Manitow, we're gonna take you to an awesome place, and we'll have some dinner. So don't worry, you can get us back on dinner down in Tennessee. But yeah, it's gonna be a brawl either way. Tennessee team very much like the Ambassadors.
Hey, you guys will get to see the debut of Aiden Darlington that game too.
Is that right? Okay. I see your roster changes so much. I wasn't even sure if Aiden was still on there. I know you've been bribing teams for extra moves and trying to change the rules. So it doesn't surprise me, but I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man. He's dropping the hammer on you, man. True.
So, no, we're excited to face off against Adam. Or Aiden. Aiden is an absolute all-star, and it's going to be fun to see him get his debut.
That's awesome, man. Well, Sam, thanks for coming on. And, hey, listen, good luck to you guys in Oklahoma and the rest of the season, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Bye. Sam Jones.
Dude, guys,
awesome.
that team has become uber dangerous with the way they can kind of control things, especially – if Motor City slips up, that point diff is going to come into major play here. If Motor City can slip up versus Alabama.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we'll see about Oklahoma this week. Spavinaw is good. Let's see about that.
What do you know about Spavinaw?
Tell us about it.
Is Cayman fishing?
Oh, I don't know.
That's all I need to know about Spavinaw. If Cayman's fishing, I'm not picking the Knights.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Cayman. I think that's a lake he'll do very well.
I don't know. I really doubt Cayman can come down 2 weeks in a row like that. That'd be rough.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think that's going to be quite as user friendly as they hope, but we'll see.
Want to get back up to the Pennsylvania Bronzebacks and New York Empire game, man. That was a lot of fun to watch. I want to see if I can show this to you guys. This is what we saw when we first got on the air on the main broadcast. This was fun. Man, got the hook. Get the going on, buddy. Talk to me, man.
It's going pretty good today. I'm catching a ton of fish. I'm just struggling to get that little bit bigger bite. 17s and an 18 I just caught.
Are you serious?
Seriously, both.
Well, there you
All
go.
right.
Perfect timing. Let's go.
Oh,
That's how we start the show.
That's a
Let's
decent
go.
one. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Nick, that thing's bending, baby.
Woo. Oh, boy.
Let's go.
These Susky Smallies fight real hard.
There you go, baby.
And then that's probably another 17-ish.
That's how we start the show.
I was gonna say, duh.
That's it, man. I mean, that's how you started the show. I mean, and he did that all day long, right? And so, what he did, and his team, Mick Wood and Clan, they absolutely put it on in New York, man. In the home event, I think Nick finished 11th or something like that. Ninth. Yeah. Okay.
Ninth.
Yeah. And cashed himself a check, and the
And
Bronze
Mick
Backs
Wood-
took the dub,
Mick
man.
Wood got a check too.
Yep.
Yeah, it sure did, man. So they were in the right area. 174 and 3/4 to 116. They take the lead in the Atlantic Division, man. They went 0-2, and now they're in the lead in the Atlantic Division. This division is beating themselves up too, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, they had everything fall into place, and Empire, I think, just really got victimized. What looked like to me a tough Susky, man.
Yeah, Mick Wood. I had him on my fantasy squad. Actually showed out pretty well, man. Dropped the ball on Saturday, lost 3 key fish. Man, that happens, man. It's fishing.
Another key stat that's untold here. New York Empires, they could not afford to take a loss by that many inches. That hurt them horribly in their plus minus.
Yeah, they sure did. I'm going to get ready to show the standings again. Look what they did, man. Bronzeback showed themselves up here well. They're now 3-2. They lead the Atlantic. Empire is 3-2. But like you said, going over to the plus minus 135 minus. Ouch. And Connecticut there and Delaware Doom is 1-4. But Bronzebacks, man, for the first time this year, they take control.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
They deserve. That team's a good team.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, moving on to your Tennessee Shiners there, man. Alabama, really not much to say here, dude. Alabama just didn't catch them, man. I mean, look at that. I mean, 176 and 3/4 to 14. Josh Stewart had a great day. Mike Fink had a great day. Those two boys, obviously had an awesome time. Loved having Mike Fink on. A lot of fun. But my gosh, dude, Alabama, what is going on?
I mean, it really sucks to see because of the Keith Lamberts and John Lessman, two amazing people. But when you have the 1996 Houston Astros in your division, it helps everybody else get them wins, man. It's hard, man. I mean, I want those guys to compete well, and they just couldn't find the fish. I know they had Keith was in the Duck River and other people up by Paris Landing, and they just couldn't find them, man. And it sucks, but I'm glad for our team that we took major home field advantage there and got a big, huge win the way that we needed to. And that flipped our plus minus to the good substantially and helped us out tremendously for a playoff push.
Yeah, I think for Alabama, just when you're low confidence, you start fishing like it. Those guys need to hit a mental reset, go out and just fish the way you know how to fish. Just go out, have fun, be competitive. Might be trying a little too hard there. Something. I don't know. That's
yeah.
tough.
Like Keith, I was talking to him. I know he's not his cell phone tower got hit by a lightning strike, so it's completely done. So I was talking to Keith. He's like, man, I just got home. I'm stripping off all my reels, cutting all my baits. I'm redoing all my poles, and I'm just gonna go Keith fishing, man. I'm tired of fishing other people's way. Sometimes you have to go do that, man. Just hit the reset button and just get yourself to a position and find an area that you know how to fish and just be done with it, man. So I hope it all works out for him. Virginia Reapers, man, Norfolk Privateers, the bowl game. This was interesting to say the least, my friends. If you haven't checked this broadcast out, I would go check it out. You're going to find a nice little surprise during this game. But Virginia Reapers takes the win at Blackwater Creek. It was 168 to 143.5. Virginia Reapers are maintaining pace in the South. Man, they have a position in the playoffs as we speak, and because of their win here, and they have another division win. Virginia Reapers, man, it's kind of like the I don't know. It's black and white with these guys. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know what team's going to show up. You know? It's kind of hard to figure these guys out.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable anytime they're in a game, then we have to make a pick. Because when they show up, they're very good. And when they don't, they're very bad.
Agreed.
No, that sounds basic, but I mean, we've just gotten two separate teams from them all year. They either show up and throw the hammer down, or they just are not competitive. So
I feel like their best four, when they play their best four, that's when, they can do some damage. But I think that their bottom four or their alternate lineups, they just don't. They're not on the same level as their best four.
Yeah.
I think that's the cut and dry black and white of the Virginia Reapers.
Yeah, agreed. Washington Warhawks, man, they beat Delaware Doom at home 179.25 to 99.5. Guys, the top three fish here. I want to show you this, man. These are the top three fish caught, I believe, in the KFL this week. Came all from Washington. A 22 3/4, a 22.5, and a 21. Those were the top three fish caught in the league.
Yeah, we had
right out of the chute, man. That's hard to come back from, boys.
Oh yeah.
Great game by these guys. Mike Hogan, man, put on himself a show. Victor Hendricks, first cast catches 21 right off the bat.
That was nice.
And Dustin Good catches a 22.5 at Nye River Reservoir, and it was on from there, man. Delaware actually had opportunities at the end. They got them some bigs right at the last hour. Doug Rash actually had caught a couple of them and then jumped off and stuff. Basically of all the lost opportunities and fish that they had, they were going to tighten up this score. There's no doubt. But again, Delaware's 1-4. It was a tough loss for them, man. I mean, it's unfortunate for this team because this team, again, like we talked about, they're not indicative of their record. They've got good anglers, man. They just haven't been able to put it together this year. And I think coming into this particular game, they were the fourth largest team with the most scoreable bass that was on the board. They were ranked fourth in total points. So they're catching them. They're just getting beat, man. But here they did take it on the chin.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but like scoreable bass doesn't necessarily translate to in the division that they're in being like we see too often in the North. Your average bass needs to be in that 16 to 17 inch mark. I think a lot of times is what we see, mid 160s, mid 170s. I'd be interested to know how many times the Doom have hit that number. They're catching limits. I just don't think they're the quality of fish that you need. So
right. Well, again, Warhawks are 4-1, and they are second in the South. But here's the king of the South right now, Coosa Kingfisher. Man, 188. Not much to say. I mean, Carolina, they sent two guys. They went and they tried to fish it, man. Neely Henry was looking ugly, but not according to a couple of the guys on their team.
Man. Greg, do the drop down because I don't think teams quite realize what you're up against when you fish against Coosa.
This is what you're up against. Chuck Wise throwing up 184, right?
No, I meant of Coosa's fish. Because you're thinking, we're catching spotted bass, stuff like that.
Look at the consistency of this, man.
I was saying you could, if you have not gone through and look at their fish, these 19-inch spots, they're just. That's a large amount there, but I mean, they're catching gigantic spots.
Yeah.
When your average is just shy of 19 inches of fish, you're going to win just about everywhere you go.
Another large amount there. I think this one was a spot. Yeah. Yep. Gigantic spotted bass, man. They're. Yeah. You better be ready to have a good mix up. You better have a guy catching big largemouth. You better be catching big spots. You just better be on big fish if you have to fish at Neely Henry.
Yeah, and they're finding them, man. They're finding them for sure. But Coosa, man, 5-0 and absolutely taking a firm control of the South right now. I mean,
how many?
Now they go on the road, guys. They go on the road, man. For the next 3 games, let's see.
If they
So
hold
their
that
other-
home field advantage, good luck, South. That is going to be so tough to go in there and beat them.
Yeah. Speaking of Coosa, got the old Marshall t-shirt going on right here, man.
Yeah.
Y'all
love
good
to see
stuff.
it.
Some Jordan Marshall gear. Got it in the other day. Yes, sir. So anyway,
So Greg, Coosa's a game that wasn't at home was on Seminole, which they all know really well.
mhm.
So what are their last 3 games, and do we fear that they're in trouble with any of these 3? Are they going to Florida at all or anything fun like that?
Yeah, so they are going to Florida. I think they're going to. They're actually going to Tar Heel Lunkers this weekend, and then, or I'm sorry, next weekend when we get back, and then they're also going to Florida, and I think they go to Palmetto Punishers is their last 3 games. So, you know,
I don't know if the Kingfishers lose a game. If they do, what Florida team's that? Is that Copperheads?
yep, it's at Lake Okeechobee.
Copperheads should put a. Wow, they should have put them on Tenant Rock. Man, I don't know if Coosa Kingfishers lose.
Okay,
And if
Well,
and if the South goes through Neely Henry, the
Good
Coosa
luck.
Kingfishers, I'm marking them in. They are in the championship.
good luck. Exactly, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll see. Okeechobee can be volatile. I'm not going to count Florida out on that one. They get a
Ooh.
tough Florida day.
They're playing Palmetto at Santee, guys. That is going to be a game.
Okay.
They
Let's
might.
go.
I don't know who Coosa will have available for that game.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, because if they can get Barry Davis and they can get Jason Broach out there with 2 other solid anglers that know Santee, game on. That could be
for
fun.
sure, for sure.
Maybe
All right, so
Santee's double-edged sword, man. I mean, Coosa gets on. That's double-edged. I appreciate them putting them on Santee. That's what we want to see.
Barry Davis in the chat.
I love it. They're coming to Santee.
I
We don't
love
play fair there.
Hey, and guys,
Neither do the Gators.
Listen, Palmetto Punishers is a team you do not want to face in the playoffs, and they're right on the outside looking in right now. And that team can make a way to the playoffs. That's a team I did not want to face in the South. I don't care. That's a team I don't want to play.
They're going to find their stride, man. Speaking of finding their stride, is Southern Slayers, man. Look, they
Yes,
go to
they're
Florida.
dropping
They go to Johns Lake. I told you to watch out for this team. They had a slow start, but they're coming on strong, man. They absolutely destroy the Kraken at home, man. I mean, at the Kraken's place. You can't have that. If I was, the Kraken, man, you can't bring this team in to Johns Lake and put up this, but they did 166 to 28.5. Southern Slayers gets a much needed point spread differential. They're 3-2. They're in the playoffs. They're 4 seed right now in the playoffs in the South. They're finding their stride, man.
Good job, Slayers. This is more about the Kraken for me. You cannot fish a home game and put up 28 inches.
Yeah.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sad to see that team come in with so much promise on one side, but when they come out and fish, it's.
Yep.
I mean, I think they might be worst in the league. I had to go over the numbers, but that's not a good team, and it sucks to see.
They're just not fishing well. I mean, that's it. They're not.
Yeah, they either need roster revamp or they all need a whole lot of time on the water this offseason. Something.
Right.
It's not good.
Well, look, I mean, I was talking to Randy. The Warhawks were 0-4 last year when we first started. We didn't know how to win as a team. We were all individuals.
Mhm.
Like Rich Bickey was talking about fishing as individuals. And then, we revamped the team, and we learned how to be a team. And, now it's working for us a little bit because we're communicating better. We're not trying to fish individually. So maybe this team's got to get through that woe and figure it out. But
yeah, and it's just 1 or 2 signings. It's
Yep.
I mean, we've seen that, team brought in Corey Dreyer. That could just turn your franchise around, and all rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah,
as
no
they
doubt.
say, so
no doubt. Guys, Florida Copperheads, the story here,
John Fox, baby.
John Fox, man. John Fox is back. He fished against the Sunshine State Swamp Donkeys, and John Fox. It was a John Fox show. I mean, Florida Copperheads, I was telling Sherman, you got to start this guy every single game.
I've been saying it for weeks.
He put in the work for a month against this. I mean, they knew that they had to have this game. John pre-fished this area for a month. Those are the guys who I want on my team.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, John would put up like 7 fish for this team. on the
Six,
board?
yeah, six.
Yeah, I think it was 6 or 7. I think it might have been
It was
6. I'm
yeah, it
not
was
sure.
6.
6. I mean,
But
that's
hell of a, I mean,
outstanding performance.
but what I think 3 of the top 4 fish, and that was the significant part.
Yeah, yeah. And again, Florida takes the win against the Swamp Donkeys. Again, they avenge the loss. They tie the series up head to head. Man, Florida's just ready to roll here, man. So
I just don't
congratulations, Florida.
I don't understand with I've said this. I don't remember who I said it to, but I was talking to somebody on the phone. And if you're the Sunshine State Swamp Donkeys, how are your best 3 anglers not even on the water for that matchup?
Correct.
I feel like I can say that, and that might bite me in the butt later on in the year, and you can say, why aren't you your best? But man, you had a stranglehold. You had your foot on the throat of the Copperheads. A W here. You had 2 up on them, 2 on them in the division, and you sent out a B- squad, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Life happens. You got to have a deep roster.
Yeah,
for a reason.
yeah. Life happens for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
For
So
sure.
I don't know the circumstances surrounding it. I think we were all a little disappointed to not see Russ and Bob on the roster at a minimum.
Bob
Yeah.
and Big Gun Warren's got to be in Florida. He's got to be on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a matchup like this too, something that I think Bob Brisky and Russ both do very well. It's what John Fox did for the Copperheads this game is they get the limit filled out. I'm not saying Bob's or Russ is going to stick a 22 every day in Florida, but they're going to catch a bunch of 16, 17, 18-inch fish. This game is real close if the Swamp Donkeys get that limit filled. So
Correct.
That hurts.
Guys, the next game, I mean, what do you say? Natural State Eagles, new team out of Northeast Arkansas, comes to Oklahoma. Oklahoma won in the game. They got a game. 175 and a quarter to 168. And I mean, guys,
Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly. I mean, that's exactly right. Cayman Rasmussen for the Outlaws put on a show for them, man.
Great pickup.
Great pickup. He travels 16 hours or something to come to play this game. They play what's called Pump Back at Chimney Rock. And man, this league showed out, bro. I mean, this was a great freaking show.
It was super
Wayne
fun.
Beatty
Go ahead, Todd.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Oklahoma is one of these teams. The more I watch them fish, they need some slight roster upgrades. I'm not trying to be super harsh on the guys that are showing up and putting in work. They either need like another year of like more time on the water, figuring stuff out, or they need 1 or 2 more pickups. They are very
Cody Henley.
They've been very competitive. They just need one other guy because Cayman, this game in particular, it did not look like fishing was super tough. I judged these fish that came in all day long, but way too many of the fish were coming from Cayman.
Yeah, well, speaking of Cayman, let's talk to him.
Hey guys, what's going on? Keith Lambert here with the KFL Week 6 post-game / Week 7 preview show. Interview here with Cayman Rasmussen. Cayman, you guys, the Oklahoma Outlaws, were at home this week in a kind of a promptude match with the new team, the Natural State Eagles. Tough home loss for you guys. I guess for you would be a road match. Tell us a little bit about your travels. 16-hour drive for a home match. That doesn't sound much like a home match to me.
No, I mean, it's just all on the road for me, basically. But, I mean, I got a lot of info from the Oklahoma guys because they're, an hour or less away from it. And so it basically was as close to a home match as it could be.
Right.
But,
well, and like you said, every match for you, I mean, being from Utah and fishing with Preston and them guys out on the Oklahoma team, I mean, every road match is a trip for you. Every home match is a trip for you.
Yep.
How are you? Tell me how you're feeling about the team format. I know we normally do a lot. We fished some of the KBBTs and the team brackets and doubles brackets and stuff like that. But mostly, as much as you fish, everything's individual competition. Tell me how you're liking or disliking some of the pros and some of the cons to the team fishing aspect.
Oh, I mean, the team's fun. You can work together and then, kind of help each other out and just, kind of put a whole different game plan to cover a lot more water. I mean, I guess the con of it is if, I don't know if there really is a con to it because
Other than a lot of time away from home, I guess would be the only con.
Yeah. For me, being on the road and whatnot. But yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys are at 2-3 on the season. Your next, you got another home match, which again, another drive for you. But you guys are going to be facing the red hot Indianapolis Knights. Not sure what lineup those guys are going to bring, but listen, every single angler on that team, whether it's Sam Jones, Adam Murray, Brian Sparks, Chip Romanovich, Mike Elsey, any of those guys come out there, and it's going to be, I mean, the kind of competition that you thrive on, because I've seen you fish well and fish often well. The aspect of the team is one thing, but what is it like seeing these other big name anglers come to you or you go to them? I mean, how does it fuel your fire?
I mean, for me, I love it. I just go fishing. It's all the same for me, whether I'm just fishing by myself or I'm just trying to catch big ones. But it'll be an interesting matchup for sure. I'm actually not going to be fishing the next two.
Okay.
I don't fish till we go to Gunnersville. But
Well, man, he's a stick, man. He's just an absolute stick, and it's hard not to fish that guy. I mean, the next two and these Oklahoma Outlaws need him. That's gonna be tough.
Sam Jones rejoice.
That's true.
I figured there's no way he would travel like that because I knew he was coming to fish us on Gunnersville. But the standout for the Eagles, Terrell Standifer. What an amazing job that guy had out on the water, putting up 150 inches, 6 of his team's 10 fish. And, like you said, everybody, I mean, Oklahoma Outlaws are 2 Cayman Rasmussen dependent. They need more diversity. And I think they're going to be fine, but, we'll see what they do next year. Unfortunately, I think that their season's kind of come. I think it's on life support at the least.
Yeah,
Guys, we have the Eagles up next, man. Let's listen what they have to say.
Oh, great.
Carol, was it pretty good comfort level for you, or did you feel like a ball of nerves in your stomach?
Well, I mean, it was a combination of the two because
audio is shot.
fish pump back like for the tournament, so it's a late.
Greg, I think the audio coming through you, bud.
It's just like don't blank, man. Don't blank.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Going into it, but super excited.
Well, we go in. So you guys, welcome to the league. Y'all were handed because of the circumstances a 1-3 record. You're now 1-0 as a team, but you still got that 2-3 record. Listen, 3 weeks left in the season. Every opportunity, honestly, in the Southern Conference and within y'all's division to make the playoffs. So Joel, going forward, let's talk about the road to the playoffs, because at the end, everybody's goal is to make Lake Chickamauga. So Joel, tell me how.
It doesn't sound like the audio's pumped through, guys. Sorry, my apologies. We'll get that interview uploaded over to Motion Sports. So anyway, my apologies. It's on a different deal here, but we'll get it uploaded. They talked about, first of all, you know who Terrell Standifer is, a stand-up guy. You talk to basically Joel Spear and Glenn. They talk about how much they enjoyed the trip, how much they enjoyed fishing that lake, what a great competition it was. Also, what a great team that Oklahoma was and hospitable it was to them. I mean, they just had a ton of fun. They're looking forward to their next 2 home games. And then also they're going to Gunnersville. This team's excited, man. They came right in. And look, here's the deal. They've got full opportunity to go to the playoffs, right? Full opportunity to take the playoffs. And, it's in their hands, man. If they go out and do it, they inherit a 1-3 record and they go 5-3. That's on them, man.
Yeah, man, great showing. Now I know what Standifer looks like, so that's good.
Yeah, good dude, man.
Dude, yeah, awesome game. He really showed up. I really think here, though, for Oklahoma, man, just the games they've been having, like they're really close. But when you're looking up in that division, you got to catch Arkansas. And if you're not looking at the roster, like Arkansas is one of those teams, man. They had a rough first season. They went out, picked up some pieces, put it together. Oklahoma's a new team. You know, they're being very competitive in their first year, but they need one or two more pieces, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Guys, last game we're going to talk about tonight, and then we're going to hand out some awards. Wow, what a game, dude. What a game. And speaking of awards, this game goes to the Grinders, the Three Bells Grinder game goes to the Arkansas Hogs, courtesy of Three Bells. You're going to win some coffee, some mugs, and all that good stuff. The Arkansas Hogs wins this grinder. 2 minutes, what was it, 2 minutes and 3 seconds or something like that to go? Yes. 2 minutes, 3 seconds. Garrett Morgan catches a 27-5 and wins by 1 inch over Louisiana. This is at Lake Darbone. Garrett Morgan, we talked to him on the other broadcast, tells the story. You need to go check that out. But wow, what a clutch catch at the last minute, man. Unbelievable.
Dude, Hogs needed it, had to have it. This division was too close. That gives them a nice stranglehold on it. Garrett Morgan is having a phenomenal season, man. Not only in KFL, just around
everywhere
he fishes. Yep. He's good. And for Louisiana, for the love of God, if I didn't live close to Louisiana and have any idea what I was talking about, stop putting teams on these grinder lakes.
Defense sucks in fishing. Okay.
Dude, sucks.
It sucks. You have so many good lakes around you, and you're putting them on stuff that's producing 84 inches. Man, that's tough. That's tough, man. I mean, you know,
Toledo Bend is there. Like, I mean, you know, I get you're scared of Hogs, Caddo, but like, come on, has Louisiana caught a limit this year?
Yes, they went to Fairfield.
Fairfield away game.
Yeah,
an away game. At a home game, have they posted a limit?
I think they caught a limit at Caddo. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did they?
Yep. Yeah.
I thought they were one short in that one.
No,
too.
I think they got one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, come on, y'all. Let's see it, man. Louisiana's way too good of a fishery to fish like that.
Red River, Black Cypress Body.
So many.
Yeah.
So many, man. We got to see that.
Yeah, so congratulations on Arkansas, man. They squeaked it out by an inch. They keep going. But, I mean, the story was Garrett Morgan with that last-minute catch, man. And I promise you he's not buying beers in Arkansas for a long, long time after that catch, man. There's no doubt. Guys, we're going to give away some awards. Let's talk about MVPs for the North. Guys, you are all in the MVP chat, and this one was really between two guys. Three guys. I'm sorry, three guys. I mean, it was Brady Olette, Rich Biggie, and Jake Angeles is who we all kind of just debated around. And it came out to the vote that the MVP for the North is Mr. Rich Biggie. Congratulations from the Bay State Attack. Wins the MVP award from Rip It Energy. Congratulations. Man, heck of a performance on that river to beat the 2021 national champions, the Massachusetts Maulers. Great job, Rich Biggie.
I think out of 9 votes, I think we were 2 for Jake, 3 for Brady, 4 for Rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it was
really split.
It was debated heavily. There's no doubt about it. But hey, I mean, that was it, man. So that's what we want, though, right? That's what we want. So congratulations, Rich Biggie. And for the South, there's a couple guys that stood out. Number one was Terrell Standifer from the Natural State Eagles, and the other one was John Fox that stood out for Florida Copperheads.
Chuck Wise.
And Chuck Wise was another one that we talked about. And the winner for the South, BK, you want to announce the winner for the South?
Yeah, because I voted for him. It's John Fox, baby.
John Fox wins MVP for the Florida Copperheads. Awesome performance, man. What can you say? I mean, look, you take
Welcome
out
to the in crowd.
Yeah, exactly. So congratulations, man. John Fox, that is coming to you as well. $500 from Rip Energy. Great job, man. Awesome.
Well deserved.
Awesome job, dude.
I mean, just Todd said it earlier. Swamp Donkeys had control of that division. Copperheads had to have that game. John Fox came up massive. Without him, his team gets
spanked.
They
get spanked, but they
lose when the team not catching a limit.
Yeah,
I mean,
they had 80 and a half or 81 and a half without John Fox.
Yeah.
Yep. So they would lose by 30. Yep, for sure. So congratulations, those two gentlemen. And the Cross Kicks Award winners for this week, I have to look and see. It was Cayman Rasmussen is the Cross Kicks winner. He's going to win a pair of shoes courtesy of Cross Kicks. And it was Justin Gallo from the Rhode Island Rebels. He gets a pair of Cross Kicks as well. Congratulations, those two. Those guys in their individual performance that their teams did not win, they get a pair of Cross Kicks for a great performance, man. So it's Cayman Rasmussen and Justin Gallo from the North and South. And also, like we said, the Three Bells Grinder team winner is the Arkansas Hogs. So congratulations on all that. Good job, guys, on an awesome performance. All right, Todd. Talk about, man, give us your breakdown of the power rankings, and then we are out of here.
Power rankings look a little bit different than the RPI. But we're going to give Granite State the number 1 overall seed in the power rankings. That home field advantage is nasty.
Yeah, deserved.
And I feel that that's what.
Huh? I don't know if Greg froze or what. Continue.
Yeah. Heard that, BK. Number 2, Coosa Kingfishers. They did what they got to do at home, kept that home field advantage solid, just like the Granite State Sticks. So those are your first 2. Real close here on the next 3. How far do you drop Motor City with a small win and with a small loss? I debated back and forth here, and eventually, what put it over the top was, Arkansas got the W this week. Motor City lost, so I went ahead and gave Arkansas that jump. Arkansas Hogs are going to be your number 3 spot. Motor City's right there. That's 3 and 3A, honestly, guys.
Yeah.
It's splitting hairs there. But Arkansas goes 3, Motor City goes 4. Washington Warhawks stay at 5. But they've got a stranglehold on their division there to take home that playoff spot. 6 will be your Pennsylvania Bronzebacks. Pennsylvania Bronzebacks jump up from number 9 last week, so they jumped 3 spots. They are now in control of that division with the division lead.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the Empire, who is a division leader. Well deserved, I think.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's what they did. They basically flip-flopped there. Let's see. Tennessee Shiners coming in at number 7. Got a monster win on the road. We have a heads up versus Indianapolis. And our 2 losses are to the number 4 ranked Motor City Ambassadors. But right behind us, guys, deservedly so, is your Indianapolis Knights. Indianapolis Knights are now the 8th seed. They jumped 6 spots with a huge win over the then last week's number 1 Motor City Ambassadors at home. That's humongous because what you have now is you have Motor City and Motor City and Indianapolis with 1 win each. If Motor City can slip up versus Oklahoma, they're going to have a similar division record with Indianapolis Knights being able to control their own destination if they can beat the Tennessee Shiners later on in the year, and that could propel them to the number 1 seed in the Northwest, believe it or not. So, that is something that's not been talked about, but it is something that's not out of the picture to happen. After that, Southern Slayers coming in at number 9. 3 wins in a row. That team's on fire. You don't want to face them. Coming in after that, Florida Copperheads, not rated last week, now number 10. They move up. I guess it'd be 5 spots, but this week I only did 12 in the top for the power rankings due to only 12 teams are making the playoffs. And after you get through 12, you're starting to talk about teams that have a losing record, and I don't feel like that is needed to be talked about in the power rankings. So, Virginia Reapers coming in after not being rated 3 and 2 as well. They're the 11 seed, and the biggest drop of the week, the team that hurt the most with the loss, your New York Empire. They came in last week at number 6. They're down to 12, and that team needs to stop the bleeding. I mean, I know last week they had a huge win with Brian Balsier carrying them through, but that team's got to stop the bleeding again going into next week, because if not, you can see that team free fall. So that's your top 12 for the power rankings.
Yeah, man. I think we could see a lot of sliding there, and for the Slayers, they've been on fire, but in these 3 wins, man, they've not really had like a signature win that I can recall.
No.
Yeah, nothing to quite jump them up into that top 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Garrett Morgan, I see you, bud. Yeah. So I mean, I think the next best 2 and 3 team that wasn't in there would have been, I think the Louisiana Hurricanes would have probably been the first team out.
Okay.
Very volatile team is the New York Empire, man. They are Jekyll and Hyde, man. I can't figure these guys out.
Yeah, them and the Reapers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're something else, man. But I mean, again, don't count them out, because just when you think you count them out, they're going to come right back at you, man. So
yeah, I'm gonna be a little lax on them for the Susky, because I saw, we there was another tournament there. Obviously, that can change things. And even within that other tournament, there were some people that just struggled, man. I mean, it's a Susky. I thought I'd see tons of limits. Not the case. Not the case. Susky was fishing tough.
Exactly. Yeah, man. But hey, I had a lot of fun, man, covering this week. This week was fun, man. And I want to thank all the competitors out there that just literally just give it their all. And I know it's tough. It's the summer doldrums, and fishing's not great sometimes, but you guys do it, man. And we got a playoff run here between now and we got 3 games to go, and a lot of teams are still in it. A lot of teams are still in this thing, and I'm just looking forward to see what happens, man. Anything's going to happen. This is going to be a wild ride between now through the championship. I mean, you're going to see things I think every fish from here on out is going to count. There's going to be that one fish that will make or break these teams being in the playoffs or not. I think it's really exciting.
I'm telling you, man, we had some games this past weekend, but I judged a lot of the fish, and I'm not sure any game quite made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up as much as Garrett Morgan's 20 3/4. That was just, I'm sitting there watching the time tick down, and I'm like, dude, they needed 19 3/4. There's been one fish over that size all day. Neither team has a limit. That's a huge ask. And then the heavens opened up and Garrett Morgan delivered, man. It was insane, dude. We just had so many games like this.
Those
weekend,
moments,
man. God,
those moments matter. Those moments matter. And like we looked at Mike Elsey. I love the story. Mike Elsey 2 weeks ago loses a 6-pounder, could have won the game. Could have cost them the season. They come right back,
wow.
And he catches a 17 3/4 and helps propel Indianapolis to win in the last 15 minutes. I mean, it's like this has been going back and forth all season long. Yet Rich Biggie, we just the MVP going out there and catching the 19. That helped propel that team to win. I mean, his consistency. Does he fish the remaining of the year? I mean, those are decisions you have to make.
I was like, I think something we might want to close on here is just we are seeing every team's true colors right now. If you're a team that's struggling, your guys are briefing about going to fish. Your attitude is not where it needs to be, and we see it, man. We see it. That's just the reality of struggling teams. And then for the teams that are winning, you probably have a horrible problem of your hands that everybody wants to fish right now.
Oh yeah.
And you having to pick and choose your best 4, and you've got big names. You have guys that are fishing great. Like we're talking about with Bay State, man. Bay State, every one of those guys is raring to go right now.
They are.
It's two different dynamics we get to see.
They are, man. And that's the thing. It's like these guys should be pumped up, ready to go. And again, right now you have to put your best 4 on if you can. I mean, like Cayman's not gonna be able to go in the next 2 weeks. I mean, that's obviously a logistical thing. That could cost Oklahoma, man. It could cost them,
Or Oklahoma could, God, can you imagine if Cayman he's not going to fish. If Oklahoma goes in and defeats the Knights, for those other anglers that aren't Cayman, man, that's a huge boost. Huge
boost.
confidence boost.
Yeah, it's going to be an issue for my squad. This is where my team, the rest of my team, has to show up. I'm losing Siddiqui and Stewart for Pan Am and Worlds. I mean, and those guys have been the core of my squad this year. So I need guys like Ethan Jett and Jamie Dennison and
Fink.
And Mike Fink and Aiden Darlington that you guys have not even seen yet this year. I need them guys to show up in games where I put them on our schedule specifically for these games that are coming up to help us get through this 2-game grind. And if we can get through this 2-game grind, I see no reason why we can't go 6-2 and make a big, huge ruckus in this thing. But I could also see us going 4-4. And that's something that's super scary as an owner. But we're here. And we have what we need in front of us. And guys, another thing, I've been telling you guys for 3 weeks, a team that's 4-4 can make the playoffs. This week just showed you why I'm right.
Yeah.
How many teams are 2-3? You guys said, "Oh no, nobody that's less than 5-3 will get in." Trust me, the parity of this league is real. It's showing itself. The grind is here, and everybody's fishing. The teams that are fishing on their back with a knife, and they have one chance to make the blow to the head of the team in front of them. If not, they're dead. You have teams that are literally fighting for their lives week, and that's huge.
Greg, can we pull up the playoff picture?
Yeah, we'll pull up the playoff picture for
Because
sure.
I would like for us all to pick a team that's on there right now that is not going to make it, and I would like us to pick a peripheral team that's on there that we think is going to make it. We're not talking about the 5-0 division leaders. We're not talking about that unless you have them falling from grace and not making the playoffs. But I think we'd need a lot of stuff for that. So let's. We got a question here from the chat.
Yeah.
Who do you guys have in KFL MVP discussion?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think the top of the list right now for me is Jake Angelos.
And there's just one MVP of the whole league, correct? Are we doing
there is one? There's one MVP in the whole league. Yes, just one.
Jake right now is top of my list. Just for very obvious reasons. I think, unfortunately, he didn't get his chance to start, and I think we might be talking way more seriously about John Fox if he got to fish some of those games, particularly versus Swamp Donkeys, because John's been real consistent week in, week out when he's got to fish.
Yep. Here's the MVP. Here's the here's the playoff structure here, man. You got Grant State number 1 in the North, Motor City number 2, and then you have the 3-6 seeds facing each other. That means that New York Empire goes to Pennsylvania if the season ended today in the wild card, and then Tennessee would be hosting Indianapolis. That would be the wild card from the North. And then the wild card hunt, honestly, we only added 3 in the wild card hunt here, but it's Bay State, Connecticut, Maulers, but you also have to put in Rhode Island, Maine, in that discussion. So we only put in 3, but all those fit, right?
Yep.
And
all those fit.
That you guys see in the wild card hunt, if I'm not mistaken, other than Carolina Casters, or maybe they're included. No, I don't think they are. Every other team you see has a losing record.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go over to South, you've got Coosa number 1, Warhawks number 2, and then you've got the 3-6, which is Arkansas hosting the Virginia Reapers, and then that winner would go to Washington, and then you've got the Slayers hosting the Copperheads, and again, that winner would go to Neely Henry. And, that's how it stands right now. But again, it shakes it all. I mean, this is all going to shake up, right? And then the next 3 in line, again, is the Casters, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. And again, you can put other teams in there as well, all the way through like the next 5. Honestly, if you are 2-3, you have a chance to make the wild card.
Okay, let's not include the wild card teams here of the playoff picture right now as is. Who's not making it? Who's not going to be there?
Before we do that, I got some inside information that's something that's very, very juicy.
Uh-oh.
Arkansas Hogs on the week of the playoffs have 3 guys committed to go to Dardanelle. if Arkansas slips and they have to travel on a road game and cannot host a game at home to be on Dardanelle, they lose Cody Milton, Corey Hopper, and Garrett Morgan, who are all committed to fish
The Hobie event
the Hobie event.
at Lake Dardanelle. Hey, man, that's a tough decision. You know what I mean? But you know what, though? It's also a huge disadvantage for those who are coming in. Just if Arkansas does host, it's a huge disadvantage for the teams coming in because now you're not only competing against those guys at Dardanelle, but you're also competing against the Hobie guys. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So
But
yeah,
they got a full roster. I'm not gonna.
That's
I've
right.
doubted Arkansas. Yeah, there you go, Garrett. I was like, I'm not gonna doubt Arkansas until they give me reason to.
I'm just saying it's something to look out for.
Yeah, fair enough. But who you got of those playoff teams? Or I can start. That's fine. Empire is the team. I'm not sure they're going to be there when this all shakes out.
Right.
I'm worried for them.
Yeah.
They're a team that I'm an Empire by all means, man. Strike back, prove me wrong. But I've got a lot of faith in the Bronzebacks. The Knights, they're fishing great right now. Tennessee, I'm not going to rule Tennessee out until a team just puts them out. Slayers are fishing great. Copperheads have a good schedule, and they're fishing well.
But I want to point you to this next week, guys. The Slayers are going to Florida, Copperheads at Tenorock. You don't think that's a huge game?
Massive.
Next week or the next time we play? I mean, that's a preview of this wild card going on. You know what I mean? Except it's flipped, right? Yeah. And so the Slayers already have a head-to-head against them because they beat them on Eufaula. But this could be Copperhead's opportunity to get that head-to-head back, and it could shake up all sorts of crap that goes on between these two teams. So, interesting.
And then on the outside, my lock is going to be the Bronzebacks. I just like how they're fishing. I think that is early season, jitters, whatever happened. I just think they're fishing too good right now. They had two guys catch a check at a Hobie. Yeah, it was home waters, but I mean, they look good, man. They look good.
I'm biased, but I am concerned too. We were on the road for 3 weeks in a row too, man. The Warhawks, we got to go against Norfolk, who's pissed off. We got to go against the Empire, and then we got to go to Motor City. That is a gauntlet of a freaking schedule we got coming up, man. So, I mean, we're 4-1 now, but we're staring 4-4 in the face because we go on the road the next 3 weeks. So we know what we have to do. We have to start out one game at a time at Norfolk. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Who's your lock then?
My lock coming in?
Yeah. So are you calling y'all are going to be the team that's not there? You're going to get knocked out?
No. I'm going to. I'm actually. You know what? I hate to say it, Todd, but I think you guys are gone.
Ooh, spicy.
I think you're going to have to run the table, man. And I think you guys, man, you got too many guys traveling in and out. Too many lineup shakeups. Like you said, you got some guys that haven't even played this year. It's going to be a tough task for you to make it in, man.
And who you got as your rock solid lock it up from the peripherals?
I like Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I do. I like the Bronzebacks. Yep.
Todd, hit us with the stats. Hit us with the truth. Predict this like you did the trash can award. Hit it.
My lock in my heart is Coosa Kingfishers.
They're not on the peripheral. They're in the power position.
Yeah.
So who am I supposed to pick out of then?
Out of the
peripheral
outside
teams.
The wild cards.
My lock. Arkansas Hogs are a lock.
Okay.
They're too good. We play them on the road this week. Next week at White Oak. I feel that it would be a monumental win for us if we could pull that off. That's
not a nervous laugh. That's a little nervous laugh.
But they're in
Gordon, speaking gospel.
And I feel that Arkansas Hogs are a team that's going to be the number 2 overall seed in the South. by the time here. For a peripheral for them to be third and jump one spot, I mean, I guess that I'm playing with house money there. But
yeah.
the team that I'm most worried about, it would be New York Empire, but my team, man, I'm worried about what we can do. And do is no easy task at Indianapolis. They know that lake. I don't think I've got an angler other than Aiden Darlington that's fished it. DQ short for 2 weeks. I need Jody Queen. I need Ethan Jett. I need Ewing Minor to out and reintroduce himself to an MVP race that he was once a part of. With his finish on the Sussex this week, and that's going to be a guy that we're going to rely on heavily here to carry us. And so Ewing Minor's got to be our guy. And but New York Empire, I just feel like there's too much parity up there. But that would be my pick out. I think that.
Yeah, Todd, look, I wanted to pick the Shiners, but I know that if the stars align and you get the guys that can go fish, I know your team's capable of doing it. So that's the only reason I'm going with the Empire. I know Tennessee can do it. I just don't know who all you got available. So we'll see.
If we beat Arkansas, I feel like we can go 6-2. If we lose to Arkansas, I feel like we can go 4-4. That's how volatile that Arkansas.
Love it, man.
Got it too.
Love it. Yeah, there are gonna be some games, man. I can't wait to see how this shakes down. Wild card is crazy. Bay State on the rise. Maulers backs against the wall. Ooh, it'd be spicy if the Maulers took down the Sticks.
My bold prediction. My bold prediction out of this is Mass Maulers find a way to make the playoffs. That's my bold prediction for the league at this very moment.
I don't think that's much of a bold prediction, man. I don't. Here's my bold prediction. Y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The Maniacs make the playoffs.
Okay, now that's a little bolder.
What's the remaining schedule for Maine?
At home versus Granite State for sure, and then I don't remember what else.
So they have their next week is Bay State at Maniacs.
Ooh.
Maniacs at Maulers. And then they have Granite State at home.
Oh, Greg, that's bold, man. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Bold.
No shot.
Bold.
Tim, I better show up on China 2 out of 3 weeks.
Greg, I mean, I'll tell you an amazing prediction if that happens, but I'm
help me now.
I can't help you. I just don't know what roster Maine's going to field week to week, man. I think we've seen they have an A squad and a not so great squad, so I need to know that they're going to bring the best every week. Man, Bay State is interesting, dude. Bay State goes there, gets a dub. That might be. That's interesting. I know Bay State's got lots of guys wanting to fish right now, man.
No, yeah. Another thing is a team that is second is Warhawks. I have a history of talking smack about your team, Greg, but you guys are being carried by like 1/2 anglers, and they're being carried by like 2 anglers this whole year.
Oh,
bro, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, man. Because
I'm going to disagree a little bit. Greg didn't fish last week, and Greg's been fishing pretty well.
Right. So Greg Nosar, and who else?
I feel like Good's been fishing well.
Be real with me. Will Brewer's caught 2 fish all year. Jim Johnson's caught 2 fish all year. Victor Hendricks is a stick. But then we have guys that we talk about. I mean, who else on that team's doing anything?
But I feel like Mason and Good are doing things. That's who I see doing stuff. I mean, that's who did the business last week.
I'm just saying it's a team that I feel due to ease of schedule so far is kind of is why they are where they are.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't I'm not going to hold that against Greg's team. I think their only loss was against Motor City in a close one while that was at home. But we'll get to see what Washington's made out of. They have a tough road schedule ahead.
Yeah, that's what
and they need one of the 3 games. They need one of the
I still feel like at Norfolk I feel that they're the favorite at Norfolk. They get
Agreed.
everything
Guys,
goes.
I'm gonna be honest. Listen. Here's the deal. North Landing River is a very interesting river. It's a non-tidal river, right? These guys know that river, and there's very specific spots in how to fish this river. Okay, I went down there. I caught one fish. It was 19 inches, and I spent 2 days there. Okay, it is a difficult river. These guys know this river like the back of their hand. It's a spot oriented deal, and I don't care how good a fisherman you are. These guys know those spots. Our guys, we have a guy, Joe Costa, has been fishing it constantly. He's been giving us a lot of information, but you still have to know this area, man. I'm telling you, I fish it. There's a lot of cypress trees and stuff in it. These fish it's just a different ordeal. I couldn't figure it out. Like it's not just flipping in freaking cypress trees all day long in this river. It's weird. So I'm going to give, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to give the complete advantage to Norfolk, especially if they bring in who I think they're bringing in. It's a huge home field advantage for them. That was a great river to put us on, right? And then, of course, you've got New York is at Canisius Lake. Guys, I encourage you to find anything on Canisius Lake. You're not going to find it. It's a finger lake. It's kind of like Cayuga, but I can't find anything on Canisius Lake. There's a local event going on at the same time up there. That's why they put us up there. I mean, I've never heard of it. I didn't even know it was even on the map. And so that's another one. We have no clue what's going on. And then we have St. Clair. Good luck trying to beat that team on St. Clair, right? So, guys, look, man, all I know is we're going to keep our heads down. We have ourselves in a good position. I'm proud of my guys. And Todd, I'm having to disagree with you because I don't know if you've been paying attention. Michael Hogan, he can't travel a lot. Michael Hogan put up 89 inches. We had 3 guys put up over 21 inches, man. I told you in the beginning of the season, you're going to know who Victor Hendricks is. You're going to know who Dustin Good is, and you're going to know who Joe Costa is. And here it is. Every single game that we've played in, we're 4-1 for a reason, man. Our only loss was by 1.25 inches against Motor City coming into the Potomac River. Okay. Yeah. There's a bunch of no names, and that's what's so great about the KFL. These no names, they're names locally, and you're going to find out who they are nationally. I cannot wait to take my boys on the road and let you guys see what these guys are made of. We win as a team, we lose as a team. This is a total team effort. And I will tell you this, these guys work. Joe Costa puts in a ton of work and does a ton of pre-fishing. We get online Thursday nights, and just like Sam was talking about, we do team meetings. We share information. We break down maps. This is something we did not do last year. And so I believe all this is the reason why we're successful. We're just going to have to keep it going, man. I'm excited for these guys, man.
Yeah, Todd, I hear your point. Like, if there is a criticism to be had, because it's hard to criticize 4-1, it's that if you remove 1-2 anglers from that team, if they can't field their best 4, do I think they're as strong? No, but that's for the after season roster move show that we'll do. Because there's every team's got some little flaws we'd like to see. Some of them have just papered over better. Some have just been able to fish their best 4 a lot of the year, man. I mean, that's the reality of it, But there's gripes for every team, for sure.
The playoff is going to expose the weaker rosters because are you seriously, with the amount of travel that is possible amongst the North and the South, are you going to be able to get those guys the time off of work, life, whatever happens, to show up and fish for you guys? For any team, right? I'm just saying any team. So your holes will be exposed in the playoffs.
Correct.
Absolutely. And that's what we said. That's what we said in the beginning of the year. You have to field a strong team from front to back. You know what I mean? We gave you 8 spots. You have to field a team that you have confidence in, like for those situations. And you're right.
Yeah. And Todd's definitely right about that. I think kind of what we're going to really see flex, though, is what we've talked about multiple times during the show. home field advantage when every team is like, what's the point of like home field advantage or this, that, or the other? Like, you're going to see, because if you have to go to Winnipesaukee or you have to go to Neely Henry, good luck. If you pull it off, it's an insane win. It's what the Bandits had last year with Fairfield. If you saw Fairfield on your schedule, not a good time. You're gonna have a bad time. But like, that's it. I mean, the traveling thing is one thing. I think the home field advantage we're going to see in this year's playoff is going to be nasty.
Huge,
Nasty.
and well-deserved home field advantage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. That's why you play the games, because
Yeah.
I mean, each team goes 4 home games, 4 away games, and you battle out for that home field advantage. I'm gonna tell you this right now: if Granite State has home field advantage throughout at Winnipesaukee, good luck to you.
I'm locking them in, and I'm doing the same with Coosa.
Yeah. I mean, see in Tennessee, Coosa.
So if you're one of these teams that you've got them on the roster, and you're
I love Barry.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just tried to put that up too.
Be careful what you ask for, man.
Yeah, be careful what you ask for. But,
yeah.
I think this is why it's so important, and why whether or not your team's fishing great or not, if you're on one of these teams' schedule the rest of the year, dude, those games have huge implications. Can't just roll over. Don't send your B squad. I mean, that's big time. You gotta. If you steal a win off Granite State at this point, you steal one off Coosa, and another team runs the table. If Arkansas runs the table, they go 7-1, and Coosa drops a couple games, we're looking at a real different playoff picture.
Here's another question that we have to kind of foresee, right? The KFL championship is at Lake Chickamauga the week after the KBF national championship. A lot of guys who are traveling in for that national championship can't get the time to fish, the KFL championship. So they're gonna have to even make a decision. Are they going to go to the KBF national championship, or are they going to hold back and try to go to the KFL championship? You know what I mean? Like,
maybe, or you're getting some awesome free fishing in.
The thing is, it's only a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, for some teams,
but you have guys that are coming in from the northeast that have to come down.
Talking about from Kentucky Lake to Chickamauga at 6 hours.
Well, what I'm saying is, you're not going to have the same guys stay that week. Like,
why?
That's 2 weeks vacation.
You might. Like, we don't know.
That's what I would tell. That's what I would be telling my squad. If you're going to the KBF National Championship, scoot on over there and take go fish the KFL Championship.
Well, what I'm saying is, some guys are not going to be able to get the time off work to do both.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a thing, but we'll cross that. I mean, those teams got to cross that bridge when we get there.
That's going to be an interesting decision. See what happens.
Bridge crosses when you're staring $35,000 to $40,000 or whatever it is in the face.
I think it's $40,000, 39 something.
Yeah, it's. So anyway, we'll see how it goes, guys. All right, that's it for tonight, man. That is our show. Congratulations to everybody, man, on an awesome week 6. We go into week 7. We're off this week. Guys, we're trying to get everybody involved in this $1,000 Bass Hour over in Lake George this weekend, August 6th. If you can show up, come on. Register now. Register tonight. We're trying to get this thing filled up. If not, we'll move it to another time or maybe in the off season. But right now, man, go sign up. It's on Fishing Chaos that we posted on KFL site or on the Facebook page. But come out. I want to go to New York this week, man. I would love to go up there and do a little Lake George fishing. Let's go. But other than that, man, let's see what we got.
Enjoy the week off.
Yeah.
Teams, get rested up. Go do your map study, because next week, man, we're gonna playoff pictures getting clearer and clearer every week, except for this week. Y'all train wrecked that stuff.
Oh, it's train wrecked. Absolute train wreck. But
for the teams to shake themselves out, and week 7 is gonna. If you look at the matchups, we haven't talked about them yet.
We'll talk about them Thursday.
Oh yeah, join us for Hindsight 2020. We got a lot more to go on KFL, and we're gonna be less PC.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, have a good one. Take care. Bye.
Cheers, y'all.